Good day, gentlemen. I've been with my girl for over 5.5 years. And to be honest with you, for the first few years of that relationship, I made a lot of mistakes when it came to building that deep and primal trust with my girl so that she can trust my leadership, my decisions, my opinions. And I'm not saying that every man has to lead in a relationship. I'm just saying that's what I authentically wanted. And her not trusting my lead, her not trusting my decisions made me feel quite insecure, I won't lie. And so I want to compress in this video 5.5 years of over half a decade of lessons and learnings that I've had from basically figuring out how I can lead her in a more loving way, not in a macho man, red pill, manosphere kind of way where you're like that ego-driven guy, right? But really in a loving and authentic and compassionate and grounded way, a maturely masculine way. Because that has had so many benefits for my relationship and for my own life, to be very honest with you. So I want to help you get there as well, building that primal trust with her and really going deeper with her and being able to then lead her from a loving place. So I want to share 4 crucial lessons with you. And yes, I don't have my usual chair with me today, so I took the bike as a seat, but yeah, we're good. At the end of the day, I want to share 4 crucial lessons with you because she doesn't trust your leadership right now. It's really about trust. That's what it is about. And you've maybe seen this dynamic, maybe with your parents or with friends of yours or other couples that you've seen this with, where the guy tries to make a decision and she's like, or he doesn't even make a decision, right? And then the woman is like, just make a decision. Like, just, I don't care where we go out to eat. Just make a decision. Just do anything, right? And then he makes a decision and then she's like, oh no, that's the wrong decision. And this and this and this. Or you've even seen people who got to the point, men who got to the point where they're not making any decisions anymore. They're so frustrated, they're so sad that their woman never trusts their leadership and their opinion and their decisions that they don't make any decisions anymore. And they became so bitter because of that. And to be honest with you, it is quite easy to get to that point. If you don't do anything about this, it is quite easy to get there. And don't lie to yourself. You're on that track right now. You're on that path right now of getting more and more frustrated, more and more bitter because she doesn't trust your leadership. And you're resenting her for it. And you're resenting yourself for it. So let's fix this. Now, lesson number 1 is if she's a good woman, she will resist your lead if you lead from ego. If you lead from a place of, I'm the man, I need to lead, even though you have no idea how to lead because you've never learned it, and I'm not shaming you for anything, I'm just saying nobody ever got taught how to lead, right? How to make decisions. That's not something we get taught by our parents or by school or by university. Nobody tells us that shit. We have to figure this stuff out by ourselves. And so you never learned this. And if she's a good woman, she will call you out on your bullshit. And that might be frustrating. It might make you feel bitter. It might make you even resent her. But it's a good thing. Because it shows that she respects herself enough, that she values and loves herself enough to call you out on your bullshit. And that is a very valuable thing. Now, the thing is this, many men, when they hear about this thing, the man has to lead in the relationship, right? All this stuff. They get into this state where they become the hero. I talked about this in past videos. I want to say it again though, because it's very important. I wouldn't say something twice or 3 times if it wasn't actually important, right? And so the hero only cares about only cares about how he looks. He only cares about how other people perceive him, right? And so he acts out of ego. The hero, when he's in a battle, he tries to look like the hero, right? To get celebrated in the end. But he loses the battle because he tries to look so great. The other side of this, and this is where I've gotten now, is the warrior. The warrior cares about the outcome. He cares about winning the battle. He doesn't care about how he looks. He cares about winning the battle. And he can't control the outcome. He can just give the right inputs, the right actions that will then lead to the outcome. And that's what he focuses on, right? The actions. And so the warrior, if he needs help to win that battle, he will ask for help. Because he doesn't care about looking helpless. If he's actually helpless, he's just authentic and he says, hey, I'm helpless, I need help here right now. I need something here right now. And the thing is, the hero never learns. The hero always just tries to, do the same thing over and over and over again. The warrior can learn because the warrior is humble. The warrior is grounded and he can learn and he can make progress. He can take those lessons that life and his woman give him and take those to make progress. And so really a good thing to ask yourself is, what is the human way of handling this? What is the human way of leading her here? There's this quote that I love from the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. I'll quickly read you this quote, which is, "A man big enough to be humble appears more confident than the insecure man who feels compelled to call attention to his accomplishments." I think that sums it up perfectly. And the thing is, we know this, right? I don't need to tell you this. I don't need to tell you that the humble, grounded guy seems way more confident than the insecure guy who tries to overplay, if that's a word. I'm German. I think this is a word. Overplay, overpower his insecurity, his nothingness with trying to make himself look cool, look great, right? And the thing is, you might be able to pick up on that easily. But a woman with her most likely more stronger feminine intuition, feminine empathy, she's able to pick up on this way more easily. So the moment you try to act from the hero's perspective, you're basically fucked, is what I'm saying, to put it very lightly. Now, lesson number 2 might seem obvious at first, but we'll go deep here. Lesson number 2 is you're in a team, right? And so now imagine having a teammate and knowing that that teammate, feeling that that teammate is making a decision that he authentically doesn't want to make, but he makes it for the team, he makes it for the common good, he makes it to please other people at the end of the day. Would you trust that person? If that guy says, I'm the leader here, we're gonna lead this, but he always makes the decision, he never makes the decision that he authentically wants to make, would you trust him? No, you wouldn't, because he has zero integrity. And here's the thing, what I'm hinting at here is being unapologetically yourself, right? And we're not going to talk about this in the red pill manosphere kind of way of like, just be a dick about everything, right? Be unapologetically yourself, just be a dick about everything. That's not what we're talking about here. When I say be unapologetically yourself, when I'm unapologetically myself, I'm a very loving and very warm person, very kind person by nature. Like, that's just who I am, right? And of course, I can be very assertive and aggressive if need be, right? But at the end of the day, I'm a very loving and authentic and warm person, right? And so when I say be unapologetically yourself, truly be unapologetically yourself. And the reason why I say this is something that I've heard from the entrepreneur Alex Hormozi, who's a kind of a role model of mine by now, because the guy just says how things are. And this is exactly what he talked about as well. He said, when someone is unapologetically themselves, they pay such a high price for being that person that you know they are honest and they have integrity. So I'll give you an example. A couple of years ago, I realized that my old friends from school, I don't really resonate with them anymore. And they're great people. I love those guys to bits. I'm gonna be completely honest. But I realized that my path goes this way and their path goes this way. They went to university, I started my first business. They couldn't help me on my path. In fact, they subconsciously tried to get me away from my path, and I tried to subconsciously get them away from their path because I thought university is bullshit and they thought entrepreneurship is bullshit, right? And so we didn't help each other. We actually got each other off of the track that we chose for ourselves. And so I had to make the hard decision of just being like, you know what? I'm just gonna let nature do its thing here and just let those relationships fade and separate. Because just leave each other apart, leave ourselves apart. Again, I'm German, my English isn't perfect, but like, let our lives diverge by nature, right? And not do anything against it. And still people give me shit for that. Mostly my parents, right? Still people give me shit for that. Because, they're all nice guys and this and that, like they're all great people. And yes, they are, I love those guys, like I said. But I had to just make the authentic decision that I wanted to make, which was letting go of those guys. And like I said, I still love them. If I meet them in public, I'll be very happy to talk to them and everything, right? But they're just not who I want as my close friends right now. And this is just right now. I'm not saying in the future, not anymore. You get the point. The thing is, when someone says no, you then trust their yes way more. When someone says no to stuff, and you know that he actually means when he says no, I don't want to do this, he means that, because he pays such a high price for doing it, right? When I, after school, told my friends, hey, no, I don't want to go partying, I knew that the price that I paid was losing those relationships. And that's a high price. But I didn't want to go partying. I wanted to work. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to fucking sleep in until 2 p.m. I wanted to get up at 6 a.m. and work and train and just grind. my ass off and build something for myself. And they didn't want that, and that's okay. But I had to pay the price of sacrificing those relationships to get to where I wanted to go. And so people who can see that I did this and that I stuck with who I wanted to be, those people will trust when I say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Or, hey, yes, I wanna do this. That's not a yes that's coming from pleasing people. And I was a massive people pleaser for years, right? It's not coming from a perspective of pleasing people, but that's coming from a perspective of, yes, I actually want to do this. And that's why people can trust me. And that's why my girl can trust me when I say, this is what we're gonna do. And when I also say, hey, I don't agree with this, I'm not gonna do this. She knows that that is authentically what I wanna say and what I wanna do. And that's one of the biggest parts, man. Because, dude, at the end of the day, people say, we don't fight, we don't have any disagreements, right? We have such a great relationship. Bullshit. Because show me two people, two partners, who always, 100% of the time, have the same exact opinion. You won't find those. So what that means is, when two people never disagree on anything, that simply means that one or both of them don't trust their partner enough to disagree with them. They think, if I disagree with this person, they're gonna not like me anymore. They're not gonna love me anymore. They're not gonna do this, or they're gonna hate me or whatever, right? They're gonna like me less. So people start pleasing the other person, right? And saying, yeah, I agree with that, even though they don't. And dude, those people come across as so fragile. I had one of those guys as one of my friends actually in school, and we used to pick on him because we literally, I'm not even kidding, I'll just tell this quickly. And the guy, by the way, now I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but I've seen the stuff he's done. Fucking hell, this guy has evolved a lot. And so back then, this was like 6th grade or something, right? Like we were 12 or something. We literally used to go, and one of my friends used to go and say one opinion of like, hey, I love this musician or something. And then go up to that guy, right? And hey, I love this musician. And then he's like, yeah, I love that musician as well. And then I, 10 minutes later, went up to him and said like, dude, I hate that musician, right? And he was like, dude, I hate that musician as well. No integrity, no spine, right? And man, at the end of the day, you have to make the right but uncomfortable decisions, the hard but right decisions, instead of the comfortable and wrong decisions, because that's what your woman's trust depends on. If you can make the decisions that you authentically know are correct, she will trust your lead, even though she might not like that decision. My girl doesn't like a lot of the decisions that I make, but she trusts those decisions because she knows that those are the decisions that I authentically want to make, right? And she's not the enemy, she's my partner, right? We're doing this together, we're teammates. So I'm not, she's not criticizing me for the decisions that I make, and I'm not criticizing her. We're calling each other out on our bullshit 100%, and I appreciate that we can do that, but you get the point, I think. Now, point number 3 is very crucial. This is a short point, but this is very crucial. Just make a fucking decision. When there's day-to-day minor things, like where do we go out to eat, or what do we do on the weekend, or do we go to this event or to that event on the weekend, whatever it might be, or what do we have for dinner, or whatever, right? Those small day-to-day decisions, just make a fucking decision, because you care about the outcome, right? You care about what happens, you care about what you do and what you might miss out on, what you might regret. She doesn't even care about that. If she's more in her feminine, she doesn't care about that. What she cares about is being able to relax in your presence, being able to just let herself sink into her feminine and just let herself fall and not have to think, and just be able to I can trust this person. I can trust my boyfriend, my husband. He's gonna make the right decision. And of course, for that, you need some direction in your own life, right? You need to know what you want out of life. You need to know who you want to become. You need to know what you value. Of course, that's important, but I mean, you should have that anyway. I don't think I should even have to say this, but unfortunately I have to. Or I mean, not even unfortunately, not against you, but against everyone who didn't teach you this stuff, right? Your father didn't teach you this, so I now have to say it. And my father didn't either. But at the end of the day, nothing against my father, you get the point. Love my father. But at the end of the day, what it really comes down to here is, if you don't make a decision, I don't care what you do in life, whether you're trying to build a business, or you're trying to get in shape, or you're trying to build a great relationship, or whatever else you do in life, not making a decision is always 100 times worse than making the wrong decision, and obviously 10,000 times worse than making the right decision. Because people have this fear, and I had this fear in the past of, what if I make the right decision and I stick with it too long and I get too far into the wrong... what if I make the wrong decision and I stick with it too long? I think I said, you get the point. What if I make the wrong decision and I stick with it too long and I go too far into the wrong direction? Then I have to reverse all of that. Yes, that's true. And that fear, okay, makes sense. But at the end of the day, when you make the wrong decision, you're going to find out very quickly. You're going to find out very quickly. And I even learned this from this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, a classic, right? Where he says, people who build something for themselves in life, people who are successful in whatever realm in life, they make decisions promptly, and they stick with them, maybe forever, or at least for a long time. And so, make a decision, just make a decision, especially for those smaller day-to-day things like where do we go out to eat? Because even if you make the wrong decision, first of all, if she's a good woman, she will call you out. She will say, I don't want to go to the Italian restaurant. And then you're like, you could take that personal, or you could be like, okay, great, that's feedback. Now I can make a better, more empowered decision the next time. Great, right? And so, okay, next time I'm going to say we're going to go to the Asian restaurant, and she's going to be like, yeah, cool, perfect. And so, same thing in that situation, right? You're just like, oh, you don't want to go to the Italian, then let's go to the Asian. And she's like, oh yeah, perfect, let's do that. Feedback. That's what you get from making the wrong decisions. It's not that you destroy your whole life from making a few wrong decisions. You get feedback. And without feedback, you can't grow. If you're afraid of feedback, you're trying again to act as that hero, not the warrior. The warrior wants feedback because the warrior wants to grow. So to really drive this point home for you, if you don't make a decision, you rob yourself of the opportunity to make the wrong decision, the opportunity to make the wrong decision and get feedback from it, so you can then ultimately make the right decision. And also, if you just make a decision, you could also make the right decision. Thing is, you can't split test life. You can't A/B test life. You will always have regrets. There's this quote that I love, which is, in life we have to choose our regrets. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you can understand this deeply. In life we have to choose our regrets. And now lesson number 4. And this is by far the most important lesson, because I always keep the most important lessons to the end of these videos, because I only want the guys who are actually committed to transforming their relationship. I only want those like you to get these lessons. So here we go. Of course, we already talked about this. Sometimes you make decisions not because that's the decision you want to make, but because you're like, this is the decision that she would want me to make. The only reason why you do this and why you let her walk all over you in that sense is because you're hoping, let's be honest here, you're hoping that she will like you more if you make the decision that she wants you to make. That is extremely immature and extremely selfish. And what it really shows to yourself, subconsciously, and to her directly, is that you're not comfortable in your own skin and that you are afraid to make a decision and fail and make the wrong decision. You're afraid of learning. You're afraid of falling onto your face. And I can say all this stuff because that's who I've been. I have a mother who is very caring and very overly nurturing, right? She never let me fall on my face. And so now I have to do this by myself. I literally now, this is one of the things that I'm doing more and more is I'm just going to make a decision. And if I fall on my face, that's good because I learn from it. That's the mindset I have now. And literally, when anyone tells me, no, don't do this, you might fall on your face, it's like, okay, and that's what I want. I want to fall on my face. I want to learn from stuff. So what if instead of trying to cater to her needs, which in the end literally breaks down all the trust that you might have built with her, because she can see that you're not actually authentic, that you're being childish and immature and doing something just to get something out of her, which is very selfish. What if you go and you say, I want a great life. I want a great relationship. We have to work together here. And I think this is the path to go forward. What do you think? Because getting her feminine input, her feminine intuition as input is very important, especially with bigger decisions. But what if you still give the direction? What if you still say, this is what I think we should do, what do you think? Instead of saying, what do you think we should do? There's option A and option B, I don't know what we should do. What if you just say, I want to do option B, what do you think? That's way better. And it takes just a little courage. But I mean, do you want to be courageous? Do you want to be a courageous man? Or do you want to be a little pussy who doesn't want to make decisions? This is the brutal truth. I can't sugarcoat this for you. I won't. Who do you want to be? Because quite frankly, dude, she cannot trust you. If she sees that you're making decisions just to get something out of her, just to please her, and the thing is, she does see that when you do it. And this is why she doesn't trust you. Because man, let me ask you this. Why would she trust you if she can see that you bend who you are and the decision that you want to make at the first sight of potential conflict, of her maybe pushing back and maybe calling you out on your bullshit? Why would she trust you if she can see that that's happening? Now, if you came to the conclusion that you want to give your relationship with her the best shot possible and you really want to transform your relationship with her, then I want to offer you my help, because I've helped a bunch of hardworking men who were in very similar positions to you to get to that point where the relationship is just thriving and where their woman is just open and loving and kind and sweet, and they feel respected and peaceful and desired by her. What I offered all of those guys who now have the relationship that you want was a free discovery call where we just have an honest conversation about where they are at right now with their woman, where they want to take it, and about whether I can help them get there. And if I could, I told them, hey, this is what I can offer you, this is how we can do this is how we're going to get you there. And if that all made sense, well, we started working together. Now, I also want to be very open and honest about the fact that I only have 24 hours in a day, just like you. And obviously, I'm kind of blowing up on YouTube right now. And so a lot of men want to work with me. And I obviously only have limited spots because my time is limited. But man, if you want to give this your best shot and you want to transform your relationship, what you can do right now is you can go to the description of this video and click the link there and fill out a quick form. It takes like literally 45 seconds or 60 seconds to fill that out. Very simple. And you just fill that out quickly. I get an application from you. And then if I think that you're a good fit for what I'm offering, I'm going to reach out to you and we're going to hop on that discovery call and basically talk and see how I can help you, see what your situation is like. And just, yeah, like I said, have an honest conversation about where you're at, where you want to go, and whether I can help you get there. So yeah, if that all sounds good, click the link in the description right now, apply for that discovery call, and hey, maybe we'll talk soon. I'll see you in one of those calls. Have a good day.